Hello everyone and welcome to another World War Z Aftermath video. In today's guide, we're going to explore the best perks, builds for the Fixer class. This used to be the best support class, however they nerfed it a lot a couple of years ago, especially the masking grenade and the supply bag. However, the supply bag is still powerful when you go for multiplayer, but the masking grenade isn't completely broken, but it helps complete some levels and I do recommend it for beginner players. Before we start, I have to mention that I do release a few videos throughout the week, and in case you enjoy the content and you don't want to miss any upcoming videos I release, feel free to subscribe. It's completely free. Let's begin with our first build with a fixer using the masking grenade. Let's have a look at each individual perk and why we're using it. The first perk is a mandatory one because we're not going with a supply bag. We need the stand by me. We will increase our firearm damage and our teammates that we will unpin by 100% for 10 seconds. Situational, but we don't have a choice. For the second option, give them hell, you cannot get this because we need to get a masking grenade, so we either have to go with Night Owl or side effects. Now, side effects may be okay if you go for lower difficulties, however, if you plan to go on extreme or insane, it doesn't kill as many Zeke as you wish. I tested this a little bit, it's good in case you want to combine it with a later perk, I will show you later. However, I don't recommend it. I do like Night Owl, getting that temporary health boost throughout the team can be a lifesaver, and using the masking grenades is the whole concept of having a lifesaver. Moving on to the next perk, Knock Knock. I don't really like it, even in Horde mode I do prefer the other two perks. Although situational, it can make a huge difference when the situations are difficult. Now, Parademic and Cloakroom used to be on different trees. That's why the fixer was very overpowered, because we both had Parademic and Cloakroom. Now you have to choose. You will either revive a teammate instantly because 100% plus from a red perk 25%, it's instant revive. Or you get Cloakroom. While reviving a teammate, you get both of you 3 seconds masking grenade. Yes, this is the superior option in my opinion, because you can rush, revive someone, push the zombies with the melee and get masking grenade so you can go back to safety. The next perk is peculiar. In most situations you have to go with Wheatgrass. In case you are experienced and you have better survivability, you can go with either My Round 1 or Gunner. However, My Round 1 doesn't provide as much benefit as you like using the masking grenades. Starting with Sporting Carbine is good in case you run some levels that you won't be able to find good tier 2 weapons, and the Sporting Carbine is one of the best weapons for the fixer. In few situations, Key to the City, the second level in Moscow that you may need a tier 2 weapon, you may start there. Otherwise, it's not worth it, you will find a weapon, you immediately replace this perk. For the next part, One of the Road is another perk that was nerfed years ago. If you carry 2 masking grenades or 2 supply bags, the masking grenade duration is decreased by 3 seconds, and the supply bag contains 25% less explosive ammo. This isn't as good if you go with a group, especially with randoms. If you go with a pre-made group that everyone has agreed that you will get all the supply bags, this can be good. However, with randoms, you won't have the time to pick up the supply bags and have masking grenade available, so you won't get any benefit. Now, there are 2 other options. Scavenger is the best option because usually the fixer, we're not a horde killer. We are the support class to help around, kill the specials, help a little bit with the horde. That's why Scavenger is easier. However, if you have, a slasher or someone else that kill all the special, you could go with Pickpocket. However, I do recommend to go with Scavenger. You can just replenish the extra masking grenades, even if you get a lurker. That's why this is the superior option. Moving on to the next perk. Instant replay, we cannot take it because we're going with a masking grenade. Go get them, replenish 25 primary weapon ammo for you and a teammate when you unpin them is extremely situational. Under the Table is, in my opinion, the mandatory choice. Restores 10% primary weapon ammo with Masking Cloud. May seem not impressive because it used to be 20%, another nerf, but 10% is better than nothing, so you can go with this. For the next perk, Casual 6 is probably the worst option you can get. The Magnum is actually decent, however, the other two choices are very superior. Now, in most situations, Lightning Hands is the superior option. 25% increased reload speed is very good, especially even when you fight the Horde or when you fight Idle Zik. That's why this is good. Power Shot is better in case you want to focus your attention to the Horde. So for example, if you have a slasher that can handle the bulls and you don't have to pay attention on the bulls and everything else, you can go with Power Shot. You will just decimate the Zik throughout the swarm. I think this gives +2 penetration, not 1. It decimates the Zik in the Horde. But Lightning Hands is better in all situations, and especially if you go with a group. Moving on to the next perk, we can't take the 4th of July because it involves the supply bags. We have to either go with Shadow Walker, which is in most cases the superior option. The Masking Grenade has a duration of 6 seconds, plus 2 seconds from efficiency, so 8 seconds, plus the Shadow Walker another 2 seconds, so 10 seconds. This is actually another nerf. The Shadow Walker used to give an extra 3 seconds, so it will have 11 seconds to grenades without nerf. That's why we had 22 seconds with its supply bag, but now this force severely nerfed. In most cases, yes, Shadow Walker is superior. Darkness Falls in the first glance may seem very bad, because it increases only the gas cloud duration, not the masking effect. So instead of 5 seconds, you have a 12 seconds gas cloud. So why this can be superior option compared to Shadow Walker? In very few missions that you don't have to run throughout the mission and use the Shadow Walker to get that extra precious 2 seconds of masking effect, and you need to stay in place, Darkness Falls can be abused, quote unquote, and get 2 masking effects from one grenade, as you can see in the background. For example, you throw the masking grenade immediately and get the masking effect. Run out of the masking cloud and just keep shooting. Whenever it fades, you will just walk again inside and retake the masking effect. Or you can just remain inside the cloud for the 12-second duration and you will have a lot of masking effect. This can work surprisingly well for solo with Darkness Falls, One for the Road. Each masking grenade can give you a lot of masking effect, around 10 seconds for each masking grenade, which is actually very good. However, it's not as good for group play because it's very hard to coordinate. It's better for solo, but for group play or with randoms, Shadow Walker is the superior option. For the last perk, we have either My Round 2, Bandolier and Big 5-0. All 3 options are viable now. The Big 5-0 is best in most occasions. If you don't have a slasher, if you run solo and you need to kill the bulls, the payload rifle is one of the best weapons to kill the bulls even on extreme difficulty. That's why I do prefer it. It has 50% more ammo, 50% more damage. It's one of the best options. If you run with a group and you have someone else that can handle them and you don't have to prioritize, you can go with My Round 2 when you go with normal episodes. Bandolier is a superior option when you go with Horde mode. It's a must in my opinion. It improves the mortar, the stationary machine gun, and all the durability and defenses by 24%. It stacks with Exterminator's Bandolier, so you can have an Exterminator, a Fixer with Bandolier, and you will improve all defenses by 50%. Let's move on to the secondary spec, surprisingly using the supply bag. Now, we have to mention what the supply bag does. It provides you with explosive ammo, but what is explosive ammo? What does it actually do? It increases your damage, however, it removes the penetration of the weapon, so it has a cost. You can see the background, for example, the damage difference for 2 situations. Either I test this on hard difficulty on the boss, otherwise you will one-shot everything in extreme, and against the bulls in extreme difficulty. With explosive ammo, it's very easy with a good tier 3 weapon or even a tier 2 weapon to just solo the bulls because it deals increased damage around, I think, double damage or 1.5 damage, I'm not sure with the numbers, in the cost of losing all your penetration. This may sound bad, but it's actually very good. And that's why this spec scales very well if you go with an experienced group. Usually an experienced group won't need to go stealth, they know the tactics, they know the level, they can kill me in a Zik. You have at least 2 players that can just destroy the specials, and the fixer will provide that extra help that we need, the extra ammo the supply bags provide, and the extra damage to deal with a bull. So you don't need a slasher, you don't need actually to have payload rifle, normal weapons can just decimate the infectors and the bulls. However, there is one perk that will make us overpowered using the supply bags and explosive ammo that we will talk about later. Now, starting here, kickback isn't as good because there is a 20% chance you will also get explosive ammo when a teammate uses supply bag. The below is better because actually this was reworked. You could proc it by yourself and have essentially unlimited supply bags throughout the level, especially in horde mode. It was ridiculous but good. But I think the rework isn't phrased very well here, or it's bugged. I think it isn't phrased here because this is how this works. When a teammate procs an equipment charge, you will also get a free supply bag without using the supply bag. So you don't have to actually use your own supply bags. You can just put down a supply bag. When you put down one supply bag, you automatically refill your ammo with some extra primary weapon ammo and explosive ammo. That's why you will never run out of ammo. You can just go to choke points and you can essentially have 90 or 80% of the time explosive ammo as long as your teammates keep using your explosive bags. So you don't have to use them, just leave your teammates do that, and you can just spawn indefinitely supply bags depending on your luck. Next perk we have to go with Give Them Hell because we're not going with masking grenades. It's situational, however it can be rewarding. The next perk, I stick with my choice with a Cloakroom because it's the superior option. Now here we have the flex slot. Wheatgrass is better for players that are not confident, especially if you go for extreme difficulty or insane or challenge mode hard to survive easier. However, my round 1 is better with the explosive ammo because you get a percentage based on your total ammo. I have tested this difference and you get, for example, for your starting weapon, I think 5 more rounds, which can make a huge difference, especially when you face specials. And this applies to the whole team. So when you get a little more experience, I do recommend to go with my round 1. This way you will give more explosive ammo to the whole team. Once again, Scavenger, my best choice. It's easy to focus on the specials when I play Fixer. I usually focus on the Screamers, on the Effectors, gas bags, help a little bit with the Bulls. This isn't very good, this is a worst choice even for solo. Either go with Scavenger or Pickpocket, this is the worst choice. I do recommend Scavenger. Now here, we can't go with under the table, go get them is pretty situational, and instant replay actually is very good because whenever someone uses the supply bag, they will restore 20% of the primary weapon ammo, plus they will get the extra explosive ammo. This means that your teammates can basically never run out of ammo. This is very good when you can just defend a place and don't have the risk to run out of ammo, or you don't have to run around to resupply to specific locations. It's very good, and this is the default choice in my opinion. Now, this is the perk that will make you overpowered when facing the horde. If you don't have, let's say, a horde killer with among your team, which can be, let's say, unusual. For example, if you don't have an exterminator, if you don't have a Hellraiser or a gunslinger, then you can take up that place not as well, but a little effective because Power Shot gives you the extra penetration and actually works while using the explosive ammo. You don't lose the extra penetration there, so you can just have a very nice combo with the Power Shot and the explosive ammo. Lightning Hat is better in all other occasions. If you have 1 or 2 horde killers and you need to focus most on the specials, Lightning Hats will help you reload faster and thus deal with the specials more consistently and help a little bit with the horde. For the next perk, we have to go with 4th of July because the other two are involved about the masking grenades, and we'll have an additional charge, 5 in total uses, before the supply bag becomes depleted. For the last choice, it's exactly the same situation as the previous build. If you don't have someone to deal with the specials, the Big 5-0 will just have an extra way to kill the specials faster, because yes, explosive ammo is very good against the bulls, but if you don't have a very good weapon, it takes a little more shots to kill him, but with a Big 5-0, 1 or 2 shots instant kill even on extreme difficulty. If you go with friends that can also deal with the specials, or you have a full team, I do recommend to go with my round 1 or Bandolier if you are with a horde mode. Let's now review the mandatory perks and all the prestige perks we get as a fixer. Please stand up, so if everyone is down including you, you will just be able to stand up. It has a 60 seconds cooldown, and this, including with that, can just be a lifesaver in case everyone goes down, by a bomber for example, by Revenge, the Mutator. You can just get up, start raising your team, getting stealth and go to defensive positions. Efficiency is something to further improve your supply bag and your masking grenade. Corporate power nap. Unequipped weapons automatically reload every 10 seconds for all teammates. This can be actually very good to do a very nice combination with a fixer, to empty your secondary weapon, switch to your primary weapon and just let it reload by itself every 10 seconds. It's not completely overpowered, but it's very good. Knock knock is the reason to leave the breaching charges for the fixer. 10% chance to use the breaching charge without spending it. It may seem low, however, I did proc this quite often when I play with friends, so yeah, leave the breaching charges to the fixers please, especially if they are prestige fixers. Pandemic, revive speed increased by 25%, not something overpowered but something helpful. My round 3, 5% increase ammo for primary and secondary weapons for everyone. Combined with my round 1, you can have 50% extra ammo for everyone in the team, quite decent. And Bounty Hunter, 10% more damage to special zombies. Very helpful, very welcome, even if it's only 10%, it's a welcome just increased damage against the specials. Let's review now the best weapon options for the fixer for both cases. Now, I'm skipping the tier 1 options because, come on, it's tier 1 weapons, you replace them as soon as you can with a tier 2 or tier 3 weapon. You have to go with semi-automatic rifles. Sporting Carbine is probably your best option until you unlock the Sniper Rifle. The improved Sniper Rifle is a superior option compared to the Sporting Carbine, however, vice versa is until you unlock it. Now, the light automatic weapon can be overpowered because the supply bag actually automatically reloads your weapon. So you can just start spamming the light automatic weapon and you can just go and resupply using the supply bag instead of just having a very low reload animation. However, I don't like the combo because, as I told you, you lose the penetration, so you don't get the benefit, and what's the point of having a light automatic weapon if you don't have increased penetration and use it against the swarm, even if it has 125 bullets. It's something you can do, but I don't prefer it. Classic bullpup rifle is actually pretty decent, especially the prestige one we get from the Drone Master, so it makes sense to the weapon deal 5 times the damage to zombies and 1 penetration when it has 6 or less bullets, so you can pretty much kill the specials almost instantly when you have 6 or less bullets plus the explosive ammo. For the tier 3 weapons, actually the worst choices could be the crossbow, number 1, because it's crossbow first, and second because you can actually use it in combination with a supply bag. Now, advanced combat weapon is one of the best choices in case you go with a reload boost. If you don't go with that, you don't get any other benefit and you cannot just get benefit of the supply bag to deal with specials. However, it's better against the horde, not against the specials. Better against the horde, especially when using power shot and supply bags, bullpup rifle, the battery rifle, the semi-automatic one because we get the benefit of the power shot are very good. The assault shotgun is awesome, even if you don't get the benefit of power shot and everything. It's just an assault shotgun, and in medium to close range it's just devastating, and you can kill the bulls in a couple of shots in close range. The same goes with the combat shotgun, because I forgot to mention. The combat shotgun is actually one of the best choices to deal with the specials in medium to close range. You deal devastating damage. However, be very careful with those weapons and explosive ammo, because if you friendly fire your teammates, you can one-shot them. So in conclusion, both specs are very good either with the masking grenade or the supply bag. However, masking grenade is, in my opinion, the best choice in case you go completely solo, especially to take advantage of 2 masking grenades for the supplies you will find throughout the level. And it's better for a little more inexperienced players to have this type of get out of free jail card, because AoE masking effect 1 or 2 or 3 times throughout the level or during the last swarm that you have hard time to complete will make things easier. However, explosive ammo just scales much better, helps you kill the specials easier. You don't have to have a special killer such as the slasher or a focus special killer with a Hellraiser with a Hirziki and directed blast and the thumper, for example. You can just have the supply bag, and even the medic will be able to just kill specials if it goes with headshots and has a fully upgraded decent tier 3 weapon. So supply bag scales a little better for the end game or for more experienced players, as it helps to just pick up the enemies and the specials quite easy, and you can just pick up the situations when you to use explosive ammo and when not. And that was it for today's video. I really hope this will help you choose your own perks that fit your playstyle while playing the Fixer. Don't worry, even with all the nerfs we received throughout the years, it's still one of the best, if not the best, support classes there. It can hold your own and it scales very well even in low, let's say, experienced players, to help them navigate through levels to the masking effect, or even provide the extra boost using the supply bag to make things easier even for experienced players. So feel free to like if you liked, and I'm going to see you all in my next upcoming video, either in World War Z Aftermath or in other video games, and as always I wish you all a wonderful day.